Hey everybody, thank you so much for clicking onto this video and watching this tutorial. I feel like this is one of the most special videos I've ever filmed because I put a lot of effort into showing you guys how to make your face and your eyes and everything just look as flawless as you can on your special day. So I made this specifically for a wedding look. Now you can use this if you are the bride, if you are a bridesmaid, if you are just attending a wedding, but I think this is really beautiful if you are a bride. Now just to give you a little bit of a close-up of this eye look and this makeup look overall, I use shimmery kind of bronzy colors, a little bit of smoke on the outer corners, a tiny wing, and overall this isn't like a super crazy smoky look like drag queen kind of look. Although I use some drag queen techniques, I'll tell you that. I wanted this to look somewhat natural-esque. I just wanted to look a beautiful blushing bride look. Something that wasn't too crazy darks, that would be simple to recreate and just overall would look beautiful on a wedding day. So I used just one palette in this tutorial. I used the Tarte Maneater palette. I think this is the most gorgeous palette for a wedding. I think it definitely has some really beautiful wedding-esque colors. So you don't have to use a ton of eyeshadows. This is definitely enough. And you don't have to use my exact eyeshadow shades. These are pretty dupable, you know, light browns, shimmery, nude colors. It definitely is a very simple eyeshadow palette, which I think worked out beautifully for this look. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, then please keep watching. So before the big day, you want to make sure that you've properly prepped your skin a couple of weeks in advance to make sure that it's going to look the best it can. I recommend doing some masks. I really like these masks from the Yes to Carrots line. These are really good if you have kind of dry, dehydrated skin. And this is really good if you have oily, acne-prone skin like I do. You could also use the paper masks that they have, or really any type of mask that you find. I just happen to have these, hashtag not sponsored. I just bought these from Target, really like them. You also want to make sure that you are moisturizing your eye area. I like using these, the Peter Thomas Ross a Cucumber Detox Hydra Eye Gel Patches. They definitely are very cooling to the area. They make your under eye circles a little bit less dark, but overall it just makes the whole area just brighter. So I like this. You can use essentially any eye treatment that you want, but you want to make sure that you're using this at least a couple weeks before the event so you can really plump up your skin, you know, a mask combo, do a nice scrub. You can go ahead and do like a facial, but don't do that right before the wedding because your face might be a little bit too red. Okay, so let's get into the actual tutorial. Now I normally don't really apply that much skin prep before I put on my actual makeup for every day, but if I'm doing a really big event like a wedding, I definitely want my skin to look the best it can. So want to start out with a toner. You can use any toner that you like. I just happen to have this on hand. It's the Dickinson's Enhanced Witch Hazel Hydrating Toner. You can use anything, it really doesn't matter, but I like this one. While that cools, I'm going to apply a under eye treatment. This is the Benefit Firm It Up Serum. I'm also going to apply a lip treatment. You can use a lip balm, anything, just to condition your lips and make sure that by the time that you are all done and you're going to put on your lip products, that your lips are going to be properly prepped and smooth. I'm using the Yes to Coconut Cooling Lip Oil. So even if you have oily skin, you definitely want to moisturize. A lot of people think if you have oily skin, you shouldn't moisturize, but you definitely should, because if you don't, excess sebum will be produced in your skin, which adds to the oil going on. So I really like the Caudalie vinosource moisturizing mattifying fluid. This is super moisturizing and it keeps you matte and it doesn't make you look dry. So I'm going to apply that now. Next, I'm applying the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Skin Booster. This is a plumping serum. It hides imperfections and fine lines, and it just overall gives a plumping effect to your skin. Now, I don't always wear primer every single day. It's just not an extra step I always want to take, but definitely if you are going to an event, you want to use some primer. It's going to really lock in anything you put on top of it, and it's going to increase the longevity of your foundation and keep it from creasing and settling into fine lines. You definitely want to apply a primer if you're going to an event where you're going to be photographed and you're going to be out all day. You definitely want your makeup to last. So I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Hydrating Primer. This is a primer that definitely boosts your skin up and it makes it look a little bit more youthful. Now you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of products to apply even before you put on foundation. Trust me, all of these products work together to make your makeup last longer and make your face look even more beautiful, more, evened out. So it is a lot of steps, but it is going to be helpful in making your makeup look better. I'm going to use two different foundations. I'm going to use a full coverage foundation from Kat Von D, and I'm going to use a more luminous foundation from Urban Decay Naked Skin. Both of these are really great. You can use this if you just want a more evened out skin tone, you don't really have a lot of imperfections, and you can use this if you're very oily, if you have a lot of things you want to cover, you want to make sure it's going to last, and this is also a transfer resistant foundation, which is really great. In order to apply this foundation, I'm using the Urban Decay Optical Blurring Brush. I really love this brush. I hope they still sell it. And then I'm going to use the MAC Fix Plus Spray. I always apply this on foundation brushes, and I use it for a lot of different things, but it helps not soak up too much product and just helps in the blending process. You also want to blend a little bit on your ears, just to make sure that it's matching. Now hopefully you can tell that even though I use a very matte full coverage foundation, that mixed with the Urban Decay, you still see a little bit of sheen left in my face that looks pretty natural. Like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation. I'm gonna get a little bit of the Kat Von D foundation with my finger, and I'm just gonna apply it on little trouble spots where I need a little bit of extra coverage. So now I'm going to go ahead and color correct my under eye circles using the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear Camouflage Concealer, and this is in Peach. I'm taking a Sigma P82 brush and I'm just going to blend that in. Next I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in Light Sand, and I'm going to apply this under my eyes. I'm also going to apply this down the bridge of my nose. A little bit on my forehead, and just a little bit on my chin. Just further pressing this into my skin with a beauty blender. I'm also going to take MAC's Prep and Prime highlighter in Radiant Rose, and I'm going to apply that just on the highlight areas of my face. I'm going to apply a little bit of the Laura Mercier loose setting powder in translucent, and I'm going to apply that to set, and also a little bit under the eyes and a little bit on the jawline. So you want to be very careful with the powder you use when you're going to a place where you're going to take a lot of pictures. This powder is perfect because there's no flashback in flash photography. Now, usually in weddings, you won't be using, the photographer won't be using flash photography, or at least if it's an outside wedding or if it's a glamour shot or whatever, but you won't want to take the chance of taking a picture and you looking like a ghost. Like a powder you would want to avoid, for example, would be the Makeup Forever Micro Finish powder. Like that there's a chance of it being very ghostly looking if you take a flash photography, and it looks amazing in HD filming, but it's not necessarily made for photography. Now this is a holy grail, it definitely works. Another good one is the Ben Nye Banana Luxury Powder. I have this little Tarte brush, and I just made a little bit damp with the MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just going to apply that under the eye. I'm not using a ton, like I'm baking just a little bit, but not that drastically. I'm just going to take a powder fan brush just gonna go over everything, make sure everything's just seamlessly blended in already. So hopefully you can tell my face is light years away from how I started this whole process. My face is pretty set with everything I have in, but definitely at the end we're going to use a setting spray to make sure this is all locked in. If you still have a couple of pores showing up on your face, I recommend using Benefit's POREfessional. I always like to save it to the end to use it on top of the makeup because it usually works better that way for me. So I'm just going to mostly put it on my cheeks because I have a couple of pores there peeping through. Moving on to the brows, I'm using Anastasia DIPBROW Pomade in dark brown. I don't normally love using this product just because I feel like it takes longer, but I can't deny that this definitely lasts a very long time. So I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Duo brush. I think it's called number 12. And I'm gonna take this product and I'm gonna apply it to the tail end of the brow first. Just like starting there. And then I'm gonna work my way towards the beginning of the brow. Definitely wanna make sure that you're blending as you go along so it doesn't look too harsh. Then I'm gonna use the MAC Veluxe Brow Liner in Dirty Blonde, and I'm gonna use this for the rest of the brow because it's a very natural looking pencil and I don't wanna look too overdrawn. I went ahead and applied some of the Urban Decay Weightless Skin Concealer, and I'm just applying that under and around the eyebrows just to kind of clean it up. It really helps to use one of these synthetic angled brushes. It really makes the lines really sharp and crisp. Okay, so now that we have our face on, I'm gonna move to the eyeshadow. Now, it's normally probably a safer choice to do your eyeshadow first and then your foundation because if you get any fallout, you can just wipe it away. But I'm going to be using some shadow shield, so it's gonna catch any of the fallout that's gonna potentially fall down. But, you know, it's probably, if you wanna make sure that everything's gonna be perfect, do your eyeshadow first. So I already went ahead and did my other eye, my left eye. I didn't put on the lashes yet so you can see what the eye looks like with just mascara, but I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you how to do this eye. But let me tell you, this eyeshadow look is very simple. It's not difficult, and I only use one palette, so this really shouldn't be too difficult to recreate. So I'm using Tarte Maneater palette. So as always, I'm gonna start with a primer. I'm using Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. And then I'm gonna go in with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. I like using both because the Painterly Paint Pot covers up any imperfections or discolorations you might have on your eyes. I'm taking a flat shader brush. This is Inglax 28 PO, and I'm going into the first shade, which is called Passion. This shade has a slight sheen to it, so I think it's perfect for the brow bone area, so I'm just packing it all over there. It's really nice because when the light catches the brow bone, it just has that slight little sheen. It doesn't look glittery or shimmery, it's just that perfect little right there. Then with the same brush, I'm taking Meow, which is a white matte shade, and I'm just going to apply that into the inner corner of the eye. With a MAC 239, I'm taking Foxy, and I'm packing that onto the brush. This is a shimmery metallic-y shade. And then I'm just gonna press that onto the lid. I'm gonna leave this inner corner of the lid without any eyeshadow for now. I also just went ahead and applied a little bit of Fix Plus on my brush just to give a little bit more of a sheen to the eye. Mostly focusing on the inner part here. Next, I'm taking a MAC 217 brush and I'm going into this color called Saucy. This is a matte, warm brown. And I'm just going to lightly apply that into kind of the crease socket area, mostly the socket of the eye. Just doing windshield wiper motions to blend this color out. You want to go sideways too, that also helps to blend colors out. Then with a Inglot 6 SS blending brush and this matte color called Purr, which is kind of like a rosy brown, I'm going to apply that into the crease of the eye and above, going towards the brow bone area. And I'm just going to use this color to blend the matte brown out and to just give like a gradation of color. Now I totally forgot to put the eyeshadow shield on this eye, but luckily I haven't used any dark colors yet to kind of mess up my under eye circles. So I'm just going to apply that. You kind of want to angle it so it gives a nice little sharpness at the end. Like so. Next, I'm going to take the MAC 239 brush again and go into this color called Hypnotic. This is a beautiful kind of burgundy shimmery color. And I'm just going to apply that on the outer third of the eye. This helps blend out, well, not blend out, but add a little bit of darkness to the look in a subtle way. Now to blend out the two, I'm just going to go back and forth with my brush on the tip. And then you can always add a little bit more of the bronzy shimmery color. Just go back and forth from the brush so it doesn't have a harsh line. You can go too with your little blending brush and just go back and forth. Next I'm taking a Royal & Langnickel brush. This is a Smudger C420 and I'm going into this dark matte brown in the palette called Midnight. I'm just going to apply this right into the crease of the eye, going towards the middle of the eye, like so. And then I'm going to drag it down on the outer corner. I'm going to drag it a little bit closer to the inner corner of the eye. Just make sure you drag it down on the outer corner as well. Then I'm just going to go ahead and get my blending brush again and just blend everything out. Make sure everything's seamless. Next I'm taking this Urban Decay Glide On pencil and this is in the color Bourbon. This is a shimmery brown color. And I'm just going to apply that to the lower lash line. What's nice about having the shadow shield as a guide is that it doesn't allow you to apply the liner too far down, so it gives a nice little crispness there as well. Now a problem that I have constantly is when I apply eyeliner to the bottom lash line, it tends to smudge off on me. So a way to fix that from happening even before it has a chance is to use the Eve Pearl mixer and sealer. You can use any type of mixing medium essentially, but this works with just applying this on top of anything to make it set and not move or budge, or you can mix it with pigments or glitters also. So I just take a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'll take an angled brush and just kind of go into that, a little bit of that product, and just press that liquid right on top of the liner. You don't want to use a ton. A little bit goes a very long way with this sealer. But this is going to make sure it's not going to come off even if you cry. Trust me, I've tested it. I'll also get a little bit more of the sealer and I'll take a MAC 223 brush. I'm just going to get a little bit of that onto my brush and then go into Saucy, the matte brown color, and just in the corner of the eyeshadow, because I think this can kind of mess up your eyeshadow if you touch it directly with a product. I'm just going to press a little bit of that on top. Next, with this flat shader brush, this is from ColourPop Cosmetics, I'm going to go into, what is this called? Lace. It's a beautiful shimmery color. I'm just going to apply lace into the inner corner of the eye, like so. And just with it wet, I'm going to apply a little bit more just to make it a little bit brighter. Now you definitely want to apply a shimmery white in the inner corner, a champagne, a rose gold, something, just kind of add a little bit of brightness to your eyes. It just adds a really nice effect in pictures as well. Now I'm going to take a little bit of kind of like a shimmery, glittery product, just to pop a little teeny bit on the inner tear duct. It's going to really make my eyes pop. This is from the Balm and it's called Work is Overrated Mineral Eyeshadow. This is an overshadow that they have. So you can put this on top of anything and it just makes it really shimmery and beautiful. So I'm just gonna apply this shimmery eyeshadow right into the tear duct of my eye. I don't want to apply a ton, but I just want it to add a little bit of extra sparkle. I'm gonna go off a Real Techniques crease brush, so I'm just gonna go over everything, especially going into that inner corner and just making sure everything is seamlessly blended out. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take off the sticker. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm just gonna go in at the edge of that line with my blending brush just to soften it a little bit. I don't like a super harsh line at the end. Now I'm going to apply liquid liner. I'm using my Holy Grail Kat Von D Tattoo Liner and Trooper. Now I did a wing on the eye. I think a lot of brides maybe will skip this step, but that's who I am. I always use liquid liner, so I wouldn't skip this for my wedding or for any special event. I did do a very thin line, so it wasn't so crazy, but I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that because I just like how it looks. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. I'm using Yves Saint Laurent The Shock Mascara. I really like it, and although it doesn't necessarily say that it's waterproof, I haven't had a problem with this flaking or, you know, just running out on me. So I want to say it's good enough for a wedding, but just to be sure, you should probably get a mascara that's a waterproof formula. And it says on the packaging waterproof. So this is what the eyes look like before I put on the lashes. If you cannot stand false lashes, don't put them on for your wedding, or don't put them on for an event that you're gonna be there for hours. This is gonna be uncomfortable and you're just gonna like wanna rip them off your eyes. You should try to put them on a few days before, test them out, see how you feel with them, if you can tolerate how they feel. Usually they're fine for me. Like sometimes it can kind of prick your eyes a little bit, but I can tolerate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some false lashes now. I'm gonna be using these Kiss lashes. They are the graceful lashes. They have a tapered end, which looks really, really natural and full. I had people last time I wore these ask me if these were my natural lashes because they were so beautiful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop these on now. So the first step to applying the lashes is to simply remove them from the package. You want to do this with tweezers because if you do it with your fingers, you might tug on it and it might misshape the lashes. So you also want to get some scissors and cut off the excess. You don't want to cut off from the inner corner. So the part where it flares out the most, you want to cut from there. So I usually take off like I'd say about at least 2 to 3 of the hairs. I'm gonna go with 3. Then you wanna take it with your tweezers, hold it up against your eye and see if it fits. And if it fits, that means the band isn't too close to the inner eye. If it is really close, it's gonna be really bothering you. Trust me, you wanna cut it a little bit. You also kind of want to loosen up the band a little bit. You can wrap it around your finger, you can just kind of wiggle it. You just want to loosen it up so it'll be easier to apply on the eye. I'm using Duo Adhesive in dark tone. You can use the white one, but I like the black because it blends in with the black eyeliner I have on. Then you want to apply a thin strip of glue to the lashes. You don't want to apply a ton because then it makes it really messy to put on and it's just going to be way too much. You want to apply enough where it covers the lash band, but it's not drooping down. Now the worst thing you can do is just apply it directly after you put on the glue because it's going to be too slippery. It's not going to be able to stick. You have to wait till it becomes tacky, a good 30 seconds at least. So count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippis until you get to 30 and then you can apply these. You want to hold the lashes on the middle of the band, and then you want to apply it on the center of your lid. You want to hold it on the center of your lid for a couple of seconds and then adjust the sides. If it's not holding on there, it means that you put this on too early, you didn't wait for the glue to become tacky. Now the reason I put the mascara on first is because I didn't want to mess up the false lashes by applying mascara and it gets like all gunky, you can't really reuse it after, but you can apply the mascara on after you put on the lashes to blend them in. And you're not technically supposed to use a lash curler after you apply mascara because it actually can rip out your lashes, but you can very gently, after it's dry, just slightly curl it just a little bit, just to make sure that they're all on the same page. Okay, so this is how the eyes look like with the lashes. I honestly think the lashes add a lot of drama and just add to the look, so I would personally wear lashes. But you don't have to. You can just use a really good lengthening and volumizing mascara. Now, I also forgot that I wanted to do this one step, which is to take the Stila Kajal eyeliner in Topaz. This is a nude color liner, and I'm just gonna put that on my waterline just to kind of brighten up my eye a little bit. You could use a white one, but I feel like a nude one usually looks a little bit more natural. So this is the finished eye look. I hope that you guys like it. I really like how it turned out. I thought about using a kind of matte eyeshadow palette, but I figured that a little bit of shimmer is definitely pretty and a little bit easier for people to replicate because matte shadows can be a little difficult to blend sometimes and to get them to look perfect. But anyways, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Let me know what you guys think. Now I'm gonna move on to the rest of the face. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. I have been really liking this product lately and I just feel like it gives a very natural definition to the face. So I'm gonna apply that on my cheekbones, on the perimeter of my face, and just like the usual areas. I'm also gonna go ahead and contour my nose a little bit. So I definitely feel a lot more chiseled out now. I think did a pretty good job at contouring me, but even though this is a cream product that turns into a powder, I'm still gonna put a little bit of powder on top just to extra set this particular product. I'm using my Inglot 3P brush and my Smashbox contour palette. So this has 2 contour shades and a highlight shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the contour shade. I'm just gonna apply a little bit. And I'm gonna take the bronze shade and apply that on the perimeter, just to warm up my face. With an Inglot 4SS, I'm gonna take the highlight shade. I'm just gonna apply a bit under the eye, just to brighten that area. A little bit on the chin, a little bit down the bridge of the nose, and on the jawline. So for a shimmery highlight, I'm gonna do first a cream product. This is the Smashbox LA Lights Blendable Lip and Cheek Color in Hollywood and Highlight. So I'm gonna take the shiny side and I'm going to apply that just on the top of my cheekbones. And then I'm gonna take the little blender side and just blend that in. Just also kind of dab with my finger. I'm also gonna apply a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Now you can just leave it like that. You don't have to apply a powder on top. It actually looks really gorgeous because it's just a beautiful sheen, kind of lit within look. It doesn't have any glitter or any shimmer. It's just a sheen. But I like a little bit more of a highlighter. So I'm gonna use the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed, and this is in the color Opal. I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever fan brush. I'm just gonna lightly apply that on my cheekbones. Now, if you have a lot of pores or if you have a lot of fine lines, I would skip anything with shimmer. I would just use this product just to give a little bit of a sheen because this definitely exaggerates pores. For blush, I'm gonna use a go-to of mine. This is the Balm's Instain Long Wearing Staining Powder Blush, and this is in the color Swiss Dot. This is a beautiful peach blush. and I think it complements a lot of skin tones. And what's great about this one is that it lasts a super long time because it stains your cheeks. So I'm gonna take a little bit with my powder brush, and I'm gonna lightly apply it because a little goes a long way with this blush. Now I have a little bit more blush on than I normally would have because in pictures, you want to apply just a tad bit more blush than usual. Now I don't really like applying blush on the center of the apple of my cheeks because I have a very round oval face and it kind of makes my face look bigger. So I like to apply it more on the sides of my cheeks, and this kind of brings everything up. If you have a more heart-shaped face, then you can definitely apply a little bit more on the center of your cheekbones. Now if you have still some excess of the lip oil, you can just pat that dry a little bit. I'm gonna first go in with this pinky nude lip liner. Now I don't know the name of this lip liner, but I'll definitely include it in like a little pop-up for you. This is from the Balm. It's called Pickup Liner is the name of the lip liner. So I've mostly filled in my lips with the lip liner, and on top of that I'm going to use Kylie Matte Liquid Lipstick in Cocoa K. And the reason I used a different lip liner is because this was a little bit darker than this color, and I didn't want to mix the two colors together to create my perfect custom palette. Now to fix up the lip line, I'm going to take Cargo, the reverse lip liner. So this just kind of cleans up the areas around your lips and make sure the lip color doesn't feather. You want to go ahead and go around the edges of your lip just to kind of blend out that line as well. I definitely think adding a lip gloss to a matte lip look is the best idea if you're using this for a wedding or something where you'll be taking pictures, because even like the most moisturizing matte lipsticks will give a little bit of creasing on your lips, and this is not really a good look. And I just think a little bit of gloss adds a extra glamorous touch. So I'm taking this Jouer lip gloss in Wind, and I'm gonna apply it first in the center of the lips and then put a little bit on the top. I'm not gonna just spread it all over the lip gloss, spread the lip gloss all over, because I don't want it to be super shiny. I just want mostly the gloss to be in the center of the lips. So as a final step to the entire look is to use my secret weapon, the Scandinavia Makeup Finishing Spray, the Bridal Edition. So what's special about this spray compared to other setting sprays is that it's specifically designed to resist the effects of excess moisture. So when you're outside, especially if it's an outside wedding, like it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be humid, and well, I mean, if you're in like, you know, Alaska, maybe not, but I'm in Florida, and I know definitely the humidity affects like the longevity of my makeup. So this definitely makes everything stay, especially, I don't know about you, but when I get nervous, I start getting a little bit hot and sweaty. So this will definitely allow your makeup to stay on through any of that. So this is a finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching my tutorial. Please let me know in the comment section below if you're gonna recreate this look. I definitely think that the eyeshadow is very simple to do, so that wouldn't be too difficult. Obviously I used a ton of products in the beginning, but that is to make my face look this flawless. I mean, I definitely feel like I see a difference in my skin using all the products I use underneath. Definitely adds a little bit of a luminosity there and a vibrance, and I just really enjoy it. So I hope you guys like it. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.